Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had to choose between logic and love? Well, I might just be about to become my wife's best friend's sperm donor, and it's seriously messing with my head. Let me take you back a bit. My name is Mark, and I'm 34 years old. I've been happily married to my wife, Emily, for 7 incredible years. We have 2 amazing kids who light up our lives. Our relationship has always been a bit unconventional, but that's part of what makes it special. One element of that dynamic is Sarah, Emily's college best friend. She's been a huge part of our lives and has always had a deeper role in our family because of the bond we share. It all started during a wild spring break in Cancun a few years ago. After a night of drinks and laughter, one thing led to another, and we ended up in a drunken threesome that surprised us all. But rather than complicate things, it seemed to strengthen our bond. Sarah became sort of an honorary aunt to our kids, and they absolutely adore her. She's present for every birthday and milestone, and her connection to our family is genuine and deep. Recently, I noticed a change in Sarah. She mentioned wanting a baby, but not in the traditional sense. She expressed discomfort with the idea of using a sperm bank and grappling with the chance that she would have to raise a child without knowing the donor. That's when Emily dropped the bombshell during one of our casual evening hangouts after putting the kids to bed. While sipping on our drinks, she leaned forward and proposed the unthinkable. What if Mark was your donor? I nearly choked on my drink. At first, it sounded absurd. I looked at Sarah, who was blushing, and back to Emily, who was grinning with that telltale glee that always made me wary yet intrigued. Initially, I thought it was kind of a joke, but as they continued discussing it, I could see they were completely serious. Emily had been thinking about this for weeks, and Sarah had been researching all the legalities and considerations that come into play. Their reasoning made a strange sort of sense. With me as the donor, Sarah would have a child she knew and trusted, while our kids would have a half-sibling they could grow up with. Emily has always been so passionate about our family dynamic. She couldn't hide her excitement about the potential for a larger family. I found myself torn between the illusion of traditional family norms and the incredible bond we shared. But the even crazier part, they didn't want to go through a clinic. They wanted to do it naturally. Emily insisted this would be more meaningful and intimate, something that really just threw me for a loop. To see how Sarah blushed at the idea and even agreed sent mixed emotions racing through me. On one hand, I was excited about the thought of having another child, but on the other, I felt the weight of complicated implications. Still, watching the two of them talk about it, the anticipation and enthusiasm sparked something inside me. I couldn't deny that the idea of Sarah and I having a child together, with Emily on board, felt oddly natural. Emily talked about how our kids would enjoy having a little brother or sister at Aunt Sarah's house, planning playdates as if it were the most ordinary thing in the world. I realized I had never seen her so enthused about anything in quite some time, and yet I couldn't shake the legal implications or the potential chaos this could create. But the more they planned, the more the idea began to feel right. I started imagining playdates filled with giggles and adventures shared between our kids and a potential little one of Sarah's. With all this swirling in my mind, I realized I might actually be leaning towards saying yes. I've edited this post since I first shared it. It's now blown up, and I'm getting all kinds of reactions. A lot of support, some concern, and a reminder that this isn't a snap decision. I wanted to clear a few things up. Sarah's still on birth control for now, so we have time, and we're all getting our ducks in a row, including involving lawyers for proper documentation. Ultimately, if this is a path we take, we want to have an open conversation with our kids as they grow, guiding them to understand the nuances of our dynamic. Am I crazy for considering it? Maybe, but with Emily's blessing and the thrill of new possibilities, I think I might just go ahead and say yes. God help me, but I think I'm going to do it.